So today we're learning about graphs of proportional relationships. When something is proportional, it's balanced, okay? And a lot of what we're learning in today's lesson has to deal with what we call the coordinate plane. Do you guys remember learning this at some point in your past? Okay, so the coordinate plane, the main concept with that is we have we have an axis, which is my x-axis, and then we have our y-axis. Okay, does anybody remember, is x left to right or up or down? Does anybody remember? X is left to right, and y is up and down. Say, well, how does that, relate to anything? That helps me determine where my ordered pair values get plotted. So the first number in an ordered pair is my x value. All right, well, I need my x-axis numbered. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I would treat my x-axis like a number line. Okay, where, do you see how I have this point plotted in the middle? This is really important. This is what we call the origin. 0, 0. Where x and y intersect is what we call the origin. I'm going to be talking a lot today about the origin. You need to know what that means. Okay? So I have my x values that look like a number line. So guess what? To the left of the origin, my x values are negative. To the right of the origin, my x values are positive. What do you think your values are going to be below the origin? Negative. They're going to be negative. And above the origin, they're going to be positive. So now these ordered pairs over here to the left, I've got some values here. Remember, guys, the first number in my ordered pair is my x value. The second number is my y value. So if on point A, it's telling me -5, I'm going to go left 5 on the x-axis. But that's not where I stop. I have to also follow the y value. What's my y value in that ordered pair? 6. So I would go up 6 because 6 is positive for y. And I would plot my point A. All right, so go ahead and finish numbering your graphs if you haven't already, and plot your point A. We are going to do all 5 points. Okay, so if you're if you're done before I start again, you can plot the second point if you think you know where it goes. B, look at B. -2. So am I going to go left 2 on X or right 2? Left 2, and then up 4 or down 4? Okay, I'm going to go up 4. So left 2, up 4. There's my B. Okay, left 2, up 4. You see how I did that? I'm following. So on point C, my X is now a 5. So am I going to go right 5 or left? I'm going to go right now because it's positive. And would I go up 3 or down 3? Up. Okay, I want you to plot D and E now if you haven't already. Okay, so 0 on X means I don't go left or right any, but then I go up 2. Is that where you put D? Did you guys put D there? And then for E, I do need to add that -6 down at the bottom. Okay, just know that E is down over 2, down 6. All right, any questions about plotting points? Okay, because the first way to tell if an equation or a set of ordered pairs, so what you're going to see today looks like ratio tables, okay, but they're filled in. So to tell whether or not values are proportional, they have to pass through the origin, meaning I'm going to put these points on a graph. And this equation up here we're going to refer to quite a bit. Look at K. Look what it says underneath K. What does K stand for? That should look familiar. The unit rate. The unit rate. A comparison of two values where the second value is 1 per one of something. Okay? So K stands for the unit rate. That's going to be important. All right, so let's look at the first example. It says, tell whether X and Y are proportional and explain your reasoning. Okay, there's two ways that you can tell whether or not a set of values is proportional. Okay, the first way that we're going to learn is by plotting the points on a graph. All right, so each one of these X, Y values, I know that they're in a table, but they represent an ordered pair. Okay, they represent an ordered pair. So, for example, do you see 1, -2? What I want you to do above it is just write the ordered pair, 1, -2. To see it side by side might help you, at least to start. All right, do you see what I did there? All right, all I did was just write it side by side. 1 is my X value, -2 is my Y value. All right, so you're going to need to come over here to your graph and do your numbering. Okay, do your numbering. All right, and you can see that I've already plotted 1, -2 on your graph. I need you to plot the other 3 points on the graph. Okay, so you're going to come back over here to your table, and you're going to plot 2, 0, 3, 2, and 4, 4. All right, go ahead and do that. All right, so my second ordered pair is 2, 0. So I go right 2, up 0. Is this where your second point is? Is y'all's second point right there? 2, 0. All right. Now my third point, would I go right or left 3?
Right.
Right 3 and then up or down 2?
Up.
Right 3, up 2. Okay. And then for 4, I go right 4, up 4. Now, these points will always form, at least for now, for pre-algebra, they will form a straight line, which I tried, but I didn't do a great job. Let me see if I can change up my tool that I use. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I have a straight line tool, but I still can't get it. All right, that's a little better. Okay, draw a straight line to the best of your ability, which brings up something. You need a ruler. You guys remember your rulers? You need a ruler for your 5.6 foot classroom tonight. You're going to need a ruler for that lesson. And use a ruler for this too to get your line nice and straight. All right. Does your line look like mine?
Yeah.
Does your line look like mine? So here's the criteria. If you're going to plot the points on a graph, it's very simple. Does the line pass through the origin?
No.
Then it's not proportionate. Okay? So when you plotted the points on the graph, your line did not pass through the origin. So you would say, no, the line does not pass through the origin. That's it. You plot the points on the graph. If it passes through the origin, it's yes. If it doesn't, it's no. Okay, so on our next example, okay, we've got another set of values here. So I want you to take these and plot them on your graph. Now, notice, do you go all the way up to a 5 on any of these values in the table? So you don't really have to number it all the way. All right, just number it out to maybe like 2. Okay, 0, 1, and 2 on all the sides. And then plot your points. If the line passes through the origin, it's proportional. If it doesn't, it's not. Okay, so go ahead and try to answer this one. You guys did a really good job walking around. I think everybody's paper I saw who had it done, y'all did it right. Okay, so that's great. So now that I've plotted the points, I can clearly see that the line passes through the origin. So yes, they're proportionate. Yes, they're proportionate. All right, so let's move on now. Now we're going to give these values categories, okay? So let's read the question. It says the graph shows the speed of a subway car. Find the speed in miles per minute. Okay, so this is important, what it's asking us for. Find the speed in miles per minute. So let's look at our x values. Remember, x is my horizontal axis. What is the category for x? Time in minutes. What is the category for y? Distance in miles, okay? So I'm going to use my formula, y equals kx. In this problem, y stands for what?
Distance in miles.
Distance in miles. X stands for time in minutes, okay? But notice what the problem asked me. Per minute. That's the unit rate that I'm looking for. So I come down here to my x value, my minutes, and I look for my 1 because that's a unit rate per minute. And I follow the graph up to where the line crosses. At an x value of 1, what was my y value? 1/2. So that is my unit rate. Y equals 1/2 x. Okay? That's my unit rate. This is how I would describe it. I would describe it that the subway train, remember guys, there are categories here. So what is the title? Okay, subway car. The subway car. I should have said subway. Subway car. Travels, and now I'm going to describe the unit rate. The subway car travels 1/2 a mile, and here's the unit rate per minute. All right, that's what the graph shows me, that it travels 1/2 mile per minute. That's what K shows me. That's my rate. So now that I know my rate, I can scale it. For example, now that I know it goes 1/2 mile per minute, how far would it go in 2 minutes?
A mile.
A mile. How far would it go in 5 minutes?
2 miles.
2.5. Very good. So basically, however many minutes it travels, I take half of that value, and that's how far it went. Do you see that? So now X and Y, they mean something to me. X means minutes, and Y means miles. That's what we're doing with proportional relationships. And can I let you in on something? At 0 minutes, how far is it gone? 0 miles. Doesn't that make sense, right? Like, if there haven't been any minutes that passed, it has not gone any miles either. So that's what proportional relationships are. When X is 0, so is Y. Okay? All right? Okay. Let's do another one. Modeling real life again. Anybody have a Roomba? Anybody have a Roomba? It's a robotic vacuum.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, where it just like goes around the house, and yes, it's very nice, especially when you have like kids or pets like track into the house. It's really nice. You can turn it on and leave. All right, so the graph shows, okay, we'll share stories in a minute. The graph shows the area Y. Okay, so it's always going to tell you what stands for what. The area Y stands for square feet. That a robotic vacuum cleans in what? X minutes. Okay, now it wants us to find the area cleaned in 10 minutes. Well, if I can find the unit rate, you know how we just scaled it for the subway car? Like once we found that it was 1/2 mile per minute, you were able to answer 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes. That's what we're doing here. We need to find the unit rate per minute, and then we can scale it. I want you to try to write the equation. Y equals kx. You figure out K. You figure out K. All right, see if you can do it. It's just like the example we just did. I'm so sorry for all the coughing. I cannot get that cleared up. Use your graph. All right. So minutes. So I need to know how much it cleans in 1 minute, my unit rate. So go over to a 1 value on the minutes. Now go up until the line intersects that point, how many square feet has it covered?
16.
16. So what would your equation be?
16 times 10.
Yes, y equals 16x. Now, don't forget what x and y stand for. X stands for what? Minutes. X stands for minutes, guys. Y stands for what? Square feet. So 10 minutes, where would I plug in 10? For x or for y?
X.
I would plug it in for x. Y equals, I know it goes 16 square feet per minute, so now how much per 10 minutes?
160.
160 square feet. All right, and I literally could have given you any number. It didn't have to be 10, it could have been 12, it could have been 15, could have been 20. Okay, and guess what? I could have given you square feet too and asked you how many minutes, but then you would have plugged it in for y. Okay, so you see, guys, once we have the equation and we've established what k is, we can work it a lot of different ways. You see that? We can scale it. All right. Okay, so we're doing good. That is it. Okay, before you get too excited, our homework tonight is 5.6 flipped classroom. So we are going to we have a solid 20 minutes left in class. We're going to start working through this homework assignment. Okay, together. We're going to do it together. All right, so 2, 5, 7, all these. We're about to do it together right here in class. All right, and this is an extension of the lesson, meaning that there's questions in here that we actually need to talk about and look at. We've kind of hinted on it in our lesson, but there's quite a bit of learning still that will take place here while we're working through this classwork. All right, but for the video's sake, we have covered everything for section 5.5.